Hi everyone, and welcome to Tuesday's Tips with Laurie. I want to thank everyone who participated last week in making comments about the orange pop rulers. We really appreciate all your comments, and I hope that those winners are enjoying their orange pop rulers, and hopefully you guys can share more of your designs that you've used the orange pop rulers to make and to cut. So today I wanted to talk about, we had some good questions about 10 needles and how you would use the 10 needle machine. So first of all, I just want to go a quick overview. Some of the advantages of the 10 needle would be that there's obviously 10 threads that you can have on at all times. So we just kind of have a basic selection of the threads that we're using for stitch outs that we're doing a lot of. So if you're making 20 t-shirts or onesies or something fun, you could use the 10 needle and you've already got all this thread set up and you don't have to continually change your threads. Another advantage would be that you can do smaller projects that it's got a back and a front, and I'll show you how we can hoop that onesie in a minute so you can see how easy it is to do something that's a smaller project like that. And another advantage would be if you've got a long stitch out with lots of thread colors. For example, our bicycle is a great one. You can have all of the colors chosen, you've put it in on your screen, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and then you just can be doing something else while it's taking care of all your stitch out for you. So this is just a great way to go. I wanted to show you something that actually had an applique piece to it so that I can show you how to stop the machine at that particular step so you can place your applique piece. So to start with, I wanted to show you, I'm going to pull up this design right here, this cute little cuddle bug from our new Little Sprouts collection. Super, super fun. And because it's a little sprouts for little ones, we're going to put it on a onesie. What better place to put that, right? All right, so to get started, I'm going to bring you right over here to the screen. And I'm going to show you, all I did was I downloaded the design on the stick, and I'm going to select my design, which is right here, the cutie. Cute little cuddle bug right there. Now I'm going to push set, and I'm not intending to move this around. Certainly you could if you're wanting to land on a certain pocket or part of an item. I'm going to leave mine centered because I'm going to center the onesie on my hoop. So I'm done editing here, but you definitely could change the size if you wanted to make it slightly bigger. This is the screen on which you would do that. So I'm going to hit End Edit. Now right here, this is the screen where I'm going to see this little hand with the thread. That is my friend for right now. So there's this one applique piece. As you can see, it's that little bug right there. And this is great if you use an SVG file. We cut out like 40 of them. They're so quick and easy to cut out. So we just put the heat and bond paper on the back, and then we put it on the SVG and cut it all out. So it's so great. You can do it on a silhouette, brother scan and cut, anything that will take an SVG file. Anyway, once we have that all cut out, I'm ready to start stitching. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at my screen here, and the very first stitch is the placement stitch. So it tells me where I'm going to put this, and that's great. The next stitch it shows is the tack down, and so I want it to stop so I have time to place this before the tack down. So I'm going to put a stop. Now the hand stop will stop before that color starts right there. So I'll now show you how that works. So it'll do the first stitch, then I'm going to stop, then I'm going to place my bug, or my caterpillar if you will, then I'm going to start it again. And you can add as many of these hands as you want. If you want to check the placement before it continues on, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to add another hand stop. Just before it does this stitch, I want to make sure that it's stitched down properly before I allow the whole thing to continue. Because if you turn your back for very long, this will keep stitching and you will be going, no, stop, stop, stop. So if you just set those in preparation, those are the stops that you could make. And then I'm going to simply select OK. And I'm going to go to my embroidery screen. Now when I go to embroider, here's where it gets kind of tricky. what it is these were named when we first set up the machine, but since then we've changed the thread several times. So if you note, I'm wanting to use certain colors. I don't know if you can get this picture back here. So I want to use this green, which is on number 4, and I'm going to use that far green, which is on number 5. Can you see that number right here is 4, and that's number 5 thread. And I will be using black, which is number 10 thread. But if you look at my screen, it shows I'm going to be using 1, 7, 2, 3. Those aren't the right colors, right? Those aren't the ones that I want. So this is how you can do it. It's really simple. This is a really quick, easy way. There's a wand. It's like my magic wand. I love it. So now I'm going to go, and I want number 1 to be my 4, because that's the thread color that I want on number 4. The next one is the tack down, and again I want that to be color number 4. And then I'm going to go here, and this is the cute little antlers and the eyes, which is black, which is number 10. So I'm going to leave that one alone. That's still the same color. We haven't ever moved black off. And then the satin stitch, I want that to be number 4, color 4 right here. And then the next one I want to be that 5, that darker green, because it's the accent on the bug. So I'm going to select number 5. And then the last step is black already, and so I'll leave that 10. So I simply used my magic wand, and I assigned it the colors that I'm looking at that I want it to be. And I just look at the number back here, and I assign it to that number. And that's all there is to it. You can do a permanent switch if you're doing several of the same, but that is an easy way to do just the simple first one. So I already have my onesie on here, but I'm going to show you how I hooped that onesie, because it's really cool. When I put this on, you can see the hoop is not on the back, it's on the inside. So there's an hoop on the inside and then this hoop on the outside. And when I put it on the 10 needle, I'm going to slip it down over the top, but I'm going to put my hand underneath to make sure that the neck of the onesie, if you can get down in here, it's underneath that arm. And that way it's not stitching on the back, it's only stitching on this front piece. So there's a trick that I learned in hooping. So what I do is I take the inside hoop and I flip it over so it's facing with my bracket up. And then I take my stabilizer, wash away is what I'm using, underneath the hoop, and then I tape it down with some paper tape. Okay, and then I'm going to flip the hoop so it's facing, the brackets are facing me now. I'm going to pinch that and it slides right up inside of the onesie. The reason I tape that is that's not easy to keep that stabilizer on that hoop if you don't. You're constantly battling the stabilizer, but look how quick that was. And then I've already pre-ironed the cross on that, so I know where my center hairs are. And then I simply take this top piece and I push it right down. It's that simple. Isn't that great? Okay, and then you can tighten it on the bracket. So this one I already have ready. And when you get ready to stitch, there's a lock key. You have to just simply take the lock off and it'll flash green. And then I push start and it's going to move over to my thread number 4, which is my light green, and it's going to stitch the outline for me. It doesn't take but just a minute here. It's so fun. And now because I have a stop here in place, you'll hear it beeping and it's going to stop for me. And it's going to tell me, you wanted me to stop, so let's do something about that. So I pull it off, and that's when I just grab my little caterpillar bug right there. And I'm going to move this to the side. And I just use a little tiny mini iron so it fits right down inside the hoop. That's just a great way to go. And I iron it on, and you can see it's stuck down. Now I do like to do the placement line just to make sure that I've ironed it in the right position. And so once again I slip this over, make sure that that's, every time you put that on, check that bottom and make sure it's out of the way. And then you just simply unlock it push the green button and it'll go again. And then it will continue to stitch out the whole rest of the design for you. And I don't have to stop and do anything again. I did put a stop after it does this stitch. I did one more stop just to make sure that it's where I want it to be place-wise. And it looks great. And so I'm going to go ahead and bypass the stop and let it finish stitching. And then it's done in about 2-3 minutes. The stitch out is finished. It's a great little way to go. So give me a thumbs up if you've seen a tin needle, if you like tin needles, if you've done anything on a tin needle. They're really fun. And I will talk to you next week. Thank you so much for joining me.